Africa Investor Today is proudly brought to you in association with Petro SA and Afrexim Bank.
Hello and welcome to Africa Investor Today, where we bring you the latest African business news from around the continent. We start today with politics and economy. Madagascar's embattled president on Monday rejected an invitation to meet his political rivals in Mozambique later this week to break a deadlock over the makeup of a power-sharing government. Andry Rajoelina, who seized power in a March coup, said reconvening the Indian Ocean nations' leaders abroad once more would waste money and suggested a video conference instead. The country's three other political leaders have accepted the invitation to travel to Maputo from December the 3rd to the 4th from the land mediator, former Mozambican President Joaquim Chissano. After 3 years of strained relations, Rwanda and France have agreed to normalize ties. Claude Gouin, Chief of Staff at the French presidency, met Rwandan President Paul Kagame in Kigali, where they agreed to resume relations. In Kigali, Rwanda's Foreign Ministry, Rosemary Musimanali, told reporters the move was at the start of a process of normalizing relations. Kigali cut diplomatic ties with Paris in 2006 after a French judge accused Kagame and several officials of involvement in the assassination of former President Juvenal Habyarimana. We'll be back after this with companies and markets. Stay with us.
Redefining energy means redefining life. At the Petroleum, Oil and Gas Corporation of South Africa, our commitment to greater innovation and greener fuels has made us pioneers in the field of gas-to-liquids technology. It has also earned us worldwide recognition for producing the cleanest fuels through environmentally friendly processes. That's how we've become the international leader in diesel technology. Through pure innovation, pure energy, pure brilliance.
In companies and markets, De Beers, the world's largest diamond producer, has held talks with its three owners about an injection of up to $1 billion into the company. The investment by Anglo American, the Oppenheimer family and the government of Botswana would take the form of a share placing, with reports last night suggesting the deal had been agreed in principle. The company was unavailable for comment last night. On Friday, De Beers said that it expected banks to renew its debt facility of $1.5 billion prior to it becoming due next March. Egypt's top-listed builder, Orascom Construction Industries, said it saw little material impact from Dubai's debt crisis and would focus its United Arab Emirates operations on Abu Dhabi. Orascom Construction shares slid 7.8% on Monday on fears the Dubai debt crisis would hit the operations in the UAE. Dubai rocked the financial world on November the 25th when it said it would ask creditors of Dubai, the world conglomerate behind its rapid expansion, and Nakheel, builder of its palm-shaped islands, to agree to a standstill on billions of dollars of debt as a first step to reconstructing. We'll be back with banking and finance. Stay with us.
Afrexim Bank is Africa's leading trade finance bank, an organization dedicated to promoting African trade through credit, risk-bearing and advisory services. We pride ourselves on having local presence throughout the continent and are committed to extending our award-winning trade and project finance programs to unlock private sector development continent-wide. We invite you to become a part of our vision for a strong Africa in a changing world. If you trade within Africa, contact us to support you.
On to banking and finance now. South Africa's credit lending has fallen for the first time in 43 years. This is attributed to companies halting expansion plans and consumers cutting back on major spending. According to the South African Reserve Bank, borrowing has fallen by 0.4% since September. According to the Vunani Securities' chief economist, Johan Rousseau, credit demand will remain in negative territory until about April next year. The big driver remains consumer spending. Monetary policy should have been more expansionary. Ecobank has announced plans to expand its regional presence by extending its branch network to Tanzania. The managing director, Mr. Tony Opanachi, said barely a year after venturing into Kenya, the bank has doubled its branch network. EcoBank has 17 branches operating in 8 towns, including Nairobi, Eldoret, Mombasa, and Kisumu. Others include Kitale, Kisii, Karatina, and most recently Nyeri. The bank is presently in 28 countries in Africa and in Paris, giving it the largest footprint on the continent. EcoBank has more than 600 branches across the globe. We'll be back after this.
Africa Investor, the leading African investment magazine, is essential reading for investors in Africa, filled with the very latest in Pan-African investment and finance news. In addition, log on to africa-investor.com to find out more about our exciting capital market infrastructure and tourism events, and our long-standing investable Africa Investor 100 Index series, which tracks over $600 billion of African equities. Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.
Finally, in infrastructure now, Africa's economic growth and poverty reduction are closely linked with the quality of its infrastructure, its power, transport systems, water supply and sanitation, and its ICT networks. In the current economic climate, finding the financial resources for Africa's huge infrastructure needs is an enormous challenge. But without those resources, African governments will find it very difficult to catch up with other regions of the world. Restructuring of the Kenya-Uganda Railway Concession Agreement and acceleration of reforms at the port of Mombasa are some of the key priorities that need to be pursued by the East African community. Kenya should also boost the capacity of the East African Community Ministry by hiring more technical staff and increasing its budget to enable the full integration of the region. It cites transport costs resulting from the poor performance of the Kenya-Uganda rail concession and high prices from the failure to remove non-tariff barriers as some of the main challenges facing the EAC's efforts to become fully integrated. The 1 billion rand Tekama wind farm project launched yesterday, moving South Africa another step closer to increasing its production of cleaner and renewable energy. By 2013, the wind farm will produce 40 megawatts of electricity, which will be sold to Eskom. It is the first community-owned project of its kind in the country. The Tekama community in the Eastern Cape owns 7,000 hectares of land that will be used as the site of the wind farm. The community will hold at least a 10% share in the project, and with that, we reach today's end of today's bulletin. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Remember to log on to our website at www.africa-investor.com. Goodbye for today.
Africa Investor Today is proudly brought to you in association with Petro SA and Afrexim Bank.